Have you ever been going about your day when suddenly, out of nowhere, you think of someone you haven't seen in years? Or maybe you've felt that strange, almost physical tension when you sense someone staring at you from across a crowded room. What if I told you these aren't just random glitches in your brain? They're clues. Clues to a hidden world that governs almost everything you do. The human mind is a universe of its own, packed with silent codes and invisible connections that guide our every move, often without us even realizing it. We like to think we're in the driver's seat, making conscious, logical choices, but psychology tells a different story. It reveals that much of what we call choice is actually the result of patterns written deep inside our subconscious mind. It's like we're following a script we never knew was written. Think about the last time you met someone new. Did you know that? Within the first 7 seconds? Your brain has already made a snap judgment. It's decided whether it likes them, trusts them, or wants to run for the hills, all long before you've even exchanged a single word. How? It's all in the details. The way they stand, the subtle tone of their voice, the tiny, fleeting micro-expressions on their face that lasts for just a fraction of a second. All of this information is processed instantly, not by the logical, modern part of your brain, but by the ancient, primal part, the part that evolved for one primary purpose: to keep you safe by quickly detecting friend or foe. We pride ourselves on being logical, rational beings, but the truth is, our instincts almost always make the first call. Our conscious, logical mind just swoops in later to justify the feeling we already had. It's like our gut makes the decision, and our brain becomes its personal lawyer, building a case to support it. Now, let's talk about attraction. When you find yourself irresistibly drawn to someone, you might think it's love at first sight, or some kind of magnetic chemistry, and sometimes it is. But often, it's something far more subtle. Familiarity. Your mind, in its quest for safety and predictability, is constantly searching for patterns it already knows. It's looking for something, or someone, that feels familiar. And here's the tricky part. Your brain doesn't always distinguish between good familiarity and bad familiarity. It just recognizes the pattern. This is why you see people repeating the same types of relationships over and over again. Even if those relationships were painful, the brain can tragically confuse a pain it understands with a sense of safety. It's the devil, you know. The pattern is predictable. And 2, the subconscious. Predictable feels safer than the unknown, even if the unknown could be wonderful. On the flip side, what about people who make you feel anxious or on edge for no apparent reason? It's not always because they're a bad person. Often, it's because they're unpredictable. Your mind can't find a stable pattern in their behavior. It can't figure them out. And this lack of a predictable model creates a feeling of unease. Our brain is a pattern-seeking machine. And when it can't find a pattern, it sounds an internal alarm. But perhaps the most mind-blowing aspect of our psychology is how much we communicate without ever opening our mouths. Scientists estimate that over 90% of human communication is nonverbal. 90%. Think about that. A simple look, a quiet sigh, a slight shift in posture, a change in breathing. These subtle cues send signals that are often far stronger and more honest than our carefully chosen words. Your mind is constantly reading other people like open books, deciphering their true feelings and intentions from this silent language. And at the exact same time, their minds are reading you, too. It's an endless, silent conversation happening between souls, right under the surface of our spoken one. We are all sending and receiving these invisible messages, all day, every day. Even your smallest, most unconscious habits tell a rich story about who you are. How you hold your phonies, it close to your chest, or held out confidently. How you instinctively glance away when you're not being entirely truthful. Even the way you laugh can be a tell. Notice how your laugh is different when you're with people you deeply trust, compared to when you're in a more formal or guarded setting. It's your body's way of telling the truth, even when your words don't. So, the next time a random thought pops into your head, or you get a gut feeling about someone, don't just dismiss it. Pay attention. You're getting a rare glimpse into the powerful, hidden operating system of your mind. It's a reminder that we are all connected in ways we're only just beginning to understand. We are walking, talking universes of mystery. constantly broadcasting our inner worlds to each other without saying a word. And isn't that an incredible thought? Did you know your brain has a superpower you might not even be aware of? Here's something fascinating. When you vividly imagine something, your brain reacts almost the same way, as if it were happening. For real? Think about that for a second. That's the secret sauce behind why visualization is so powerful. It's not just some new age trend. It's a technique used by top athletes, world-class speakers, and some of the most successful people you can think of. They train their minds first, creating a mental blueprint for success, and then their bodies and actions simply follow that script. Why does this work? It's because of a curious quirk of our minds. Your subconscious, the powerful engine running in the background, can't really tell the difference between a real, lived experience and a richly imagined one. It doesn't process facts, it processes feelings. So, when you feed it a steady diet of positive, successful imagery, it starts to believe that's your reality. It accepts those emotions of confidence, achievement, and joy as real. This is why when you imagine yourself acing that job interview or crossing that finish line, you get that little rush of adrenaline and excitement. Your brain is literally rehearsing for success. But here's the flip side, and it's something we all need to be mindful of. If the subconscious reacts to emotion, what happens when we constantly think negatively about ourselves? When we tell ourselves, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, or I'll probably fail. Our brain takes those messages just as seriously. It starts to program our future to fit that negative script. It is like you rehanding your subconscious a map that leads directly to the outcome you fear the most. You'll start noticing all the evidence that proves you're not capable. You'll subconsciously sabotage your own efforts, and you'll find yourself stuck in a loop of self-fulfilling prophecies. Your brain isn't trying to hurt you. It's just doing its job and following the emotional instructions you're giving it. Now, for the good news, the opposite is just as true, and this is where you can truly take control. When you start to genuinely believe you are capable, when you intentionally focus on your strengths and visualize your success, your brain gets a new set of instructions. It begins to actively seek out evidence to prove this new, positive belief right. Suddenly, you'll notice opportunities you missed before. You'll feel more motivated to take on challenges. That little voice of doubt gets quieter, replaced by a voice of encouragement. This isn't magic. It's you consciously reprogramming your own mind. You're shifting your focus from what could go wrong to what could go right, and your reality will begin to reflect that shift. It's about becoming the architect of your own mindset. Every fear you feel, every deep desire that drives you, every sudden spark of intuition that guides your decisions, all of it has roots in the hidden, deeper layers of your psychology. These aren't random glitches. They are messages from your subconscious. Understanding these inner workings doesn't make you less human or turn you into a robot. In fact, it makes you more aware, more in tune with who you truly are. It gives you the power to look beyond your immediate reactions and understand the stories behind them. You start to see that behind every emotional response, there's a reason. And behind every person, including yourself, there's a mind quietly fighting its own battles and trying to be understood. The more you learn to understand this unseen world inside your beliefs, your fears, your hopes, the better equipped you'll be to navigate the visible, external world around you. You'll make better decisions, build stronger relationships, and handle challenges with more grace and resilience. Suddenly, life isn't just a series of random events happening to you. It becomes a landscape you can consciously navigate. And perhaps the real mystery we should be trying to solve isn't what makes other people tick, but how much untapped power our own mind truly holds. It's sitting there, waiting for you to listen, to understand, and to harness it. The choice to tune in and take the reins is yours. Thank you so much for joining me on this little journey into the mind. If this sparked something in you, please give this video a like and hit that subscribe button for more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.